This is Fox 51 News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Fox 51 News at 5:30. I am Katie Pratt. COVID-19 patient numbers are spiking, and there aren't enough hospital staff members to keep up with the demand for care. East Texas hospitals say they're struggling to find more medical workers. Fox 51's Lauren Margolis is here and tells us why it's extremely difficult for hospitals to fill positions. Lauren?
Katie, one of the biggest concerns in hospitals is a shortage of nurses who are worried about keeping up with the demand as coronavirus numbers grow in East Texas. Right now, the hunt for medical staff is a competitive and expensive one, with cities all over the country experiencing the same shortages. One of the fighting for more medical workers to be on the front lines. East Texas hospitals are pleading for nurses the most and ask that anyone who can step forward to help.
I've been a physician in this community for 26 years. I've seen a lot of adversity and carnage in healthcare. I've never seen anything like this.
If the demand is high, there's just not enough of us out there. It stresses that already existing nursing shortage even more.
After working to fill positions on their own, hospitals are expressing concerns and admit that the staff they do have are exhausted. Governor Abbott announcing today the Texas Department of State Health Services is stepping in, arranging for more than 2,500 medical personnel to be deployed to Texas hospitals. The CEO of Christus Good Shepherd says the resources are extremely scarce. The Christus Good Shepherd team set up a booth at a Hilton Garden Inn in Longview today, looking to hire all positions within their system. Live in studio, Lauren Margolis, Fox 51 News.
According to the state, the percentage of hospital beds being used by COVID-19 patients shows how the virus is impacting hospitals. Currently, Trauma Service Area H, which covers Deep East Texas, has nearly 20% of their beds occupied by people infected with the virus, and no more ICU beds available. Trauma Service Area G, encompassing counties like Smith and Gregg, is currently sitting at about 16%. Numbers showing sharp daily increases for all of East Texas. A hot Wednesday evening with the humid trend continuing through the week. We now turn to Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. Marcus, most of East Texas counties remain under heat advisories.
Katie, that is correct, and that continues until 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. The majority of us, it will expire at 7, but then reissued heading into the day tomorrow. I'm going to show you those heat indices here in just a moment. We do have a couple of showers that are developing in portions of the area. A look at the East Texas Storm Team radar. Very sporadic, very small, but where they are hitting, we are seeing some heavier rain. We had some on the west side of Houston County, now crossing into southwest Anderson County. This is located near the Elkhart area. Not much lightning there at this current moment. We even had a heavier storm just east of Huntsville, and that was moving up toward Trinity. That one has weakened just a bit. We've seen some newer showers even back southwest in Houston County. A couple of showers as well in portions of Angelina County. These will remain very isolated as we go through the evening. Here's that heat index of what it feels like right now. For most of us, it's at least 100. Some isolated areas around 105 to maybe near 108 in a couple of spots. Either way, it is still very humid and also a lighter wind in place, and that's going to lead to a rise in the heat index for tomorrow. We forecast that wind southwest to the southerly direction, 5 to 10. Air temperatures tomorrow into the mid-90s, and we do project it to feel a little bit warmer. How about this though, Katie? Some heat relief coming in the forecast. We've got building clouds for the next few days, maybe an isolated shower Saturday, or on Friday I should say, but Saturday and especially going into the second half of the weekend, rain chances begin to jump back up. We'll give you a preview of what Futurecast is projecting for us and the latest on Tropical Storm Fred in just a couple of minutes.
All right, I would love some heat relief. Thank you, Marcus. New tonight, cash and guns were stolen in a string of more than 40 car burglaries overnight in Mount Pleasant. All of the break-ins happened early Wednesday morning, police adding that all of them involved vehicles that have been left unlocked by their owners. If you have any information as to who may be responsible, call police immediately. Authorities do remind you to always lock your car, don't leave any valuables in the car, and park in a well-lit area if possible. After being the location of several fatal car accidents, Tyler City Council is finally looking into the traffic history on Grande Boulevard. The exact location is between Glen Eagle Drive and Shady Oaks Drive, known as the S-curve. The almost $100,000 engineering contract will look into potential solutions to prevent these terrible and sometimes fatal crashes. The project was approved in the 2020 work plan agenda. For all the details, you can head over to our website. That's FOX51.com. Overnight, an attempt by Senate Democrats to pass voting rights reform legislation was blocked by Republicans, an issue Texas lawmakers are facing here at home. Fox 51's correspondent Rashad Hudson has more.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says voting rights will be the top priority when senators return next month.
We're making great progress to come together with a very strong voting rights bill that every Democrat can support.
Early Wednesday, after an overnight session, Schumer tried to pass the For the People Act that would combat a wave of new voting restrictions recently passed in Republican-led states. Schumer attempted to start debate on the bill through unanimous consent, but Texas Senator Ted Cruz objected.
It would profoundly undermine democracy in this country.
Republicans once again obstructed even debating voting rights legislation in the Senate.
Republicans call the bill a massive power grab by Democrats and worry it will federalize elections currently run by the states.
What many call the Corrupt Politicians Act is designed to prevent the voters from voting Democrats out of office.
The White House says President Biden supports Senate Democrats' efforts to get a bill passed soon.
He will continue to speak out on this issue. He will continue to advocate for fundamental rights.
Democrats are feeling the pressure to act on voting rights as on Thursday, the Census Bureau is expected to release results used to redraw voting districts around the country in time for the 2022 midterm elections. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Today in Austin, civil arrest warrants were officially served to the 52 House Democrats absent from the House floor. They're trying to kill the controversial Texas elections bill. Republicans call it election integrity, while Democrats call it voter suppression. The warrants only add to the tension, but Republicans point to the Constitution, which allows the Speaker to send for the members.
Not as if anyone's going to jail or truly held against their will, but we want to bring people here to do their job. These rules that are being followed are the same rules that we all adopted.
We're treated like fugitives on the run. So basically they have to be inconspicuous, they have to hide and not be really, they're not safe at their home, or they can't go by their district office.
It's unclear when law enforcement could bring these representatives back to the Capitol, especially with looming court battles. Prices for consumers continue to rise. New numbers from the Labor Department show trips to the grocery store and gas station are hitting wallets harder than before. So what do the numbers mean, and could we get any relief? Lauren Blanchard reports.
Whether you're shopping for groceries, a new car, or just trying to fill up your gas tank, this month expect to pay even more.
I've noticed that everything has at least gone up by like a couple dollars. Even gas has skyrocketed.
Wednesday, the Labor Department announced prices continue to rise. The Consumer Price Index jumping 0.5% from June to July, though down from the previous month's increase of 0.9%. Still, that's a whopping 5.4% spike from this time last year.
There's no question that the dollar is getting you less, and we have to take note of that.
The announcement comes as this week, Tyson Foods, the world's second largest meat processor, announced it too is hiking prices, citing unprecedented inflation and rising costs. Pork prices up 39%, beef 12%, and chicken another 16%. Despite higher hourly wages for American workers, many gains erased by inflation rates.
We will keep a careful eye on inflation each month and trust the Fed to take appropriate action if and when it's needed.
Still, the White House says the economy is headed in the right direction.
Jobs are up and monthly price increases have come down. Economic growth is up, the fastest in 40 years, and unemployment is coming down. So I would argue the Biden economic plan is working.
Hotel rooms and restaurant prices also rose June to July, but airfare and rental cars, which had been spiking, actually declined. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Coming up on Fox 51 News at 5:30, new charges in the chilling murder of a North Texas toddler. What's ahead for the man accused in the death? And a man leads police on a wild chase while handcuffed. We'll show you how the pursuit finally came to an end. Plus, a new text dot proposal, the work being planned for the loop in Carthage, and when drivers can have their voices heard. Stay with us.
The Fox 51 Longview Tower Cam is brought to you by the Mansour Law Firm. We know how to pack the right clothes for a trip, but this summer, travel packing is a little different. Before you go, make sure you have disinfectants, hand cleansers, medication, especially fever reducers for adults and children in case someone gets sick, face masks for everyone, an emergency plan, sunscreen, and chargers for all of your electronics. When you travel this summer, make your destination Texas. Brought to you by RV Outfitters of Texas. Your adventures start here.
Braum's is bringing the heat. Introducing Braum's new spicy chicken sandwiches. Flavor this good just can't be beat. Braum's crispy, tender, spicy chicken delivers just enough kick to ramp up our original recipe. Get it regular or club style with crispy bacon and American cheese. Add on Braum's sauce for that extra burst of heat, and you have spicy chicken sandwich perfection. Because nothing is better than Braum's.
It's in our blood. It's in our sweat. It's in our genes. We are Cavender's, and this is how we live. Cavender's back-to-school sale is going on now, and you can get 10% off men's and ladies' casual shoes by Ariat and Twisted X, and ladies' booties by Durango. Plus, kids' boots are 10% off too. Going on now at Cavender's.
Hi, I'm Kristen Dow Carver with Dow Autoplex in Mineola. Come to Dow and check out GMC's SUV and trucks, where we can save you thousands on your next new vehicle. At Dow Autoplex, seeing green is saving green.
AW Trailers is your new trailer headquarters in East Texas. Financing options including rent-to-own with no credit check, utility trailers, dump trailers, goosenecks. And AW Trailers has full replacement bumpers and truck beds. AW Trailers, Highway 69 North in Tyler.
You're watching Fox 51 News at 5:30.
A man accused of kidnapping a 4-year-old boy who was found dead on a Dallas street has been indicted on a capital murder charge. 18-year-old Darian Brown was indicted Monday. He is accused in the slaying of little Cash Jernan. It happened back in May. Cash's body was found about 8 blocks from the home where he had been staying. Authorities said surveillance video showed a man lifting the sleeping child from his bed, with evidence linking Brown to his death. If convicted, he would face execution or life in prison without the possibility for parole. Take a look at this, a high-speed chase in Oklahoma like none you have ever seen. What you see is a handcuffed suspect bolting from police after stealing an ATV and leading cops on a chase north of Oklahoma City. The chase went from rural roads to a dirt road, then back to pavement with speeds estimated up to 70 miles per hour. Eventually, the man hit muddy water, overturned, fell off, and decided to surrender, handcuffs clearly visible. There's no immediate word of who he is or why he's initially arrested. When we return, TxDOT is proposing to widen the loop in Carthage. We have the details. And Wishlist Wednesday, what the Children's Advocacy Center needs to better serve young victims of abuse in Smith County.
And we are a couple of days away from a heat relief. We've got to get through more humid afternoons. We're also taking a look at Fred, and if you have interest in the Deep South, certainly a forecast that you want to pay attention to. We'll show it to you next.
The Fox 51 Long Range Forecast is brought to you by the Mansour Law Firm.
If I crave something, I have to have it.
Well, so what are you craving? Like, what do you crave? Attention, apparently. Look at him all sitting in the middle. I know, right? It is really awkward. You just chose to sit there.
Sonic Crave Cheeseburger.
Thank you, East Texas, for another outstanding year and for choosing Union Home Mortgage to be your go-to lender for home loans. We love East Texas and are excited to announce that our office location has moved right down the street to 1505 Judson Road in Longview. For FHA, VA, USDA, or conventional loans, our mortgage experts have you covered. Contact Tina Chumley or Robin Plyler at Union Home Mortgage for all of your home loan needs.
This local law firm is nationally recognized, repeatedly voted best law firm by your neighbors.
At Roberts & Roberts, we know that your lawyer's track record matters. Let us put our track record to work for you.
When you're shopping for a new vehicle, how do you know which brand you can trust? With Subaru, you get Kelley Blue Book's Most Trusted Brand winner 7 years in a row. In fact, Subaru has won Most Trusted Brand for more consecutive years than any other brand. No wonder Kelley Blue Book also picked Subaru as their best overall brand, once again. It's easy to love a brand you can trust. It's easy to love a Subaru.
Get Suddenlink's hottest summer sale and turn up the heat on your summer entertainment with 200 meg internet and TV for only $40 a month. Now get free internet for one entire month and a $100 Visa prepaid card on us. Plus, get streaming apps, live TV, news, and sports. Snag this sale while it's hot. Get 200 meg internet and TV for $40 a month, and you'll get free internet for 1 month and a $100 Visa prepaid card. Plus, free installation, all with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Visit suddenlink.com/TV.
Hi folks, I'm Bill Pascal and I've got some great news about health insurance. We've recently aligned ourselves with a nationally known carrier with a plan that you are familiar with and that you can trust. The plan's good for any doctor or hospital. There's a small copay, no deductible for you to worry about, and the premiums are affordable. If you want to know more, just visit me online at AmericanHealthPro.com or just call me at 903-920-6822 and we'll work hard to help you and your family. Thanks.
Keep up with the latest by liking FOX51 on Facebook.
Sonic Banana Pudding Shake.
Closed captioning on Fox 51 is brought to you by Palshay Kia Tyler. And now, your East Texas Storm Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell.
Filter sunshine across our area for us. A live picture looking from our Tyler Tower Cam. Off to the west, we're seeing some of the rays of sun, but also some of those fair weather cumulus clouds at this point. 94 is the temperature and the dew points in the low to the mid 70s. Very muggy outside and also a lighter wind as well across East Texas. That's adding a feels like temperature up to about 106 or 107 in a couple of areas right now. Here's a look at the other air temperatures. 94 in Mount Vernon, Atlanta at 95. You notice Pittsburgh 94 and Quitman 99 right now. Very warm there in Central Wood County. 92 in Longview and Marshall. Athens at 93 degrees at this moment. Troop at 94. 95 in Palestine. 95 also in Nacogdoches and Kennard. Huntington in the 4 o'clock hour was at 99 down to 97, and we've got some cloud cover near Trinity and some rain nearby. You're at 94 and Hemphill at 93 degrees. On the radar we go. Here's a look at some of those storms that have been approaching near Trinity. You can notice they're mainly staying to the south and southeast. The river actually helping to decrease some of that precipitation, but we are going to still have some rainfall that will pick up there in portions of Trinity County. Had one in Angelina County. You can notice over the last hour that has fallen apart. Same can be said in portions of Sabine County. And we move up to the west northwest. Coming out of Houston County, we had one thunderstorm moving to southwest Anderson County. This would be west of Elkhart. You notice that one too is falling apart. The air becoming more stabilized. We just got the heating of the day that triggered a couple of these storms that moved through. Looking ahead to tomorrow, if you want to get outside, the best time to do it when we have more cloud cover is the first part of the day up until about 11 a.m. and then more sun in the afternoon. Very humid conditions are expected as highs are projected to go into the mid-90s once again. The heat index for tomorrow afternoon, thanks to a lighter wind, I expect to be stronger between about 105 to maybe 108 in the late afternoon. Here's a look at Fred. This storm became a tropical storm yesterday evening. It's moving over the Dominican Republic and Haiti at this time. West-northwest motion with top winds at 40 miles an hour. I want to show you the forecast track. It is still expected to move up into the East Gulf, weakening once it comes back out into the Caribbean, but re-strengthening in between Cuba and Florida at a moderate tropical storm. A small chance that it even could get stronger because of the warm ocean temperatures that may allow it to become maybe a weak Category 1 hurricane. Look at the big picture though. I want to show you what's going to come in play, why we are not projected to see this storm impact us here in the state of Texas. As it moves up to the east part of the Gulf, we've got a stationary front or a cold front that's going to move in by Friday and Saturday. That's actually going to help increase rain chances for us. Meanwhile, that also keeps Fred away from us. But if you have plans, maybe a final vacation to the southeast part of the country in Florida, and some wet weather is expected for them. Meanwhile, for us, our wet weather is going back up. Temperatures coming down to the low 90s over the weekend, even a few upper 80s as rain chances return. Deep East Texas, you're going to have a similar forecast as well. Mid 90s tomorrow. We could have some showers as early as Friday or Saturday. You can keep up to date with our forecast at FOX51.com.
Great, thank you, Marcus. TxDOT is discussing improvements to the loop in Carthage. They're proposing to turn the 2-lane highway into 4 lanes. This would happen for almost a mile stretch between State Highway 315 and US 59, like the rest of the loop. They're going to be hosting an input meeting next week at the Carthage Civic Center. If you can't attend and would still like to submit a comment, you have until September 1st to do so. The Children's Advocacy Center of Smith County is in need of donations and is asking for your help on what they're calling a Wednesday wish list. They're running low on stuffed animals and blankets, which are given to every child who visits them for a forensic interview. For those of you who don't know, when a child is being a forensic interview is his or her first step at the center. Many times the items become a treasured companion for children and need that feeling of comfort and safety.
While we're tucking our children safely into bed tonight, there are other children who are experiencing horrors. And it's up to the community to do what we can to help protect them. So even though their names are private and you may never meet these children or know that they were in our facility, we're thankful that the community is coming forward to do something tangible to provide support and love and compassion for them.
Last year, they conducted nearly 900 forensic interviews and expect even more children in upcoming months. Other items they need are diapers, toys, and car seats. With their full wish list, you can head over to their website and you can drop off any new items at the Children's Advocacy Center in Tyler. Coming up, Marcus has a final look at your forecast. Stay with us.
The Fox 51 Longview Tower Cam is brought to you by the Mansour Law Firm.
There's a place in a land we love, forged from a fight for freedom and independence, where honor and tradition remain the hallmarks of hope. Rugged idealism and bold adventure sets it apart, as faith and family looms large in men's hearts. From east to west you will find it's more than a state, it's a state of mind. Texas Bank and Trust, always Texas strong.
You're more than just a number. That's why Cigna Medicare Advantage plans treat you like a whole person, body and mind. And you may be one of the millions of people who can still enroll, even now when we're not in the annual enrollment period. Call 1-855-333-5879 to find out if you can sign up for a Cigna Medicare Advantage plan. With no monthly premium, no primary doctor copay, and medical, dental, vision, and prescriptions all in one plan. We know you have a lot going on, so you may be qualified to enroll and not even know it. Find out if you can still get an affordable Cigna Medicare Advantage plan. Call 1-855-333-5879. That's 1-855-333-5879. Or go to thecignaadvantage.com.
The hardest part isn't saying goodbye to a child you've championed throughout his time in foster care. It isn't speaking up for his needs in court. It isn't working together with social workers and family members toward a common goal. It isn't learning how to advocate for a child and help him navigate the system. The hardest part is deciding to make a difference. Every child has a chance. It's you. Visit becomeacasa.org and sign up to become a volunteer.
All right, final weather, Marcus.
Yeah, a couple of areas with some rainfall, but it's very isolated. We'll show you the big picture on the radar once again. A couple of showers in portions of deep East Texas, but a lot of them are just letting up. As they move northward, they're encountering more stable air. The heat is still on for the next few days, but there are the rain chances. They're going up.
All right, well, thank you for watching Fox 51 News at 5:30. We'll see you tonight at 9.
The new school year is right around the corner. How